Hi, this is Paul. Welcome to my spoilers review of Jessica Jones Season 2. Okay, I did a spoiler-free review of Jessica Jones Season 2 on my main channel, Trey Passer. The link is in the description box, so if you want to check the one out where I don't reveal spoilers, follow the link in the description box and you can check it out for yourself. Okay, but before going forward now, I'm going to talk about spoilers for Jessica Jones Season 2, which I thought was absolutely fantastic, a great continuation of the first season. Okay, and basically this season is Jessica Jones coming to terms with her past, or trying to find out about her past. And she's, Jessica Jones is still doing her private eye thing, and her adopted sister Trish Walker is kind of trying to push her to learn more about her past, to find out about that missing time when she was in the hospital after the accident. She's trying to push her, excuse me, uh, push her to to investigate it and find out about it. And that leads to her to actually investigating. She does some investigating. Trish Walker, and also Jessica Jones does some investigation. You also have the nice side plot going on with Carrie Ann Moss's character Jerry Hogarth. She gets diagnosed with the Lou Gehrig disease. I forgot what they call it. I don't know if it's ALCS or ACLS. I think it might be ACLS, but she gets diagnosed with that. So that's her little side plot. She has that side plot going on that with her, basically eventually she's gonna die. She has ACLS, and her partners are trying to push her out, and she's of course trying to fight and stay on, and at the same time trying to find alternatives to prolong her, to lead her life and stuff. So you have that going on, which is good. And Kilgrave, David Tennant is in the show, and later I'll explain how he's in this show, because we know that he was going to come back after he got his neck snapped in the first season. That he was going to come back in this. So of course, they explain, and I'll explain it later. So basically, she delves into her past, and what the great thing is, and what I thought it was going to be going forward, going in this season, I thought when they were going to delve into her past, they were going to find out that her brother was still alive. That's what I thought. I don't know for what reason I thought that maybe her brother was alive and that he'd been experimented on, and he's out there somewhere killing and stuff, and she has to stop him. But they didn't do that. They did it. They did it a bit. I think they did it even better, and they made it topical. They made it be her mother. Her mother actually survived, and she was the one basically experimented on, and her brain was messed up, and she's actually played by Janet McTeer, Alyssa Jones, and Janet McTeer, who did a fantastic job as Jessica Jones' mother. She was absolutely fantastic in the show. Her and Colin Keith Rennie, he plays Dr. Carl Malice. He was the one that actually did the experiments on Jessica and her mother, and they did a fantastic job. And like I said, they actually go into the backstory about Jessica Jones's first, they actually go into the mother and the relationship between her and the doctor, that she and her and her daughter and Jessica. And also you have Trish at the same time. Trish is engaged to some new guy, and Griffin Sinclair, some traveling reporter, and all this stuff. And she's having a relationship with that. But Trish, for her own sake, in her career is kind of stalling, and she's trying to push her way forward to try to be like her fiance, be this intrepid reporter. So she's actually trying to find out and use Jessica Jones, what happened to her, as a vehicle to try to push herself forward, to advance her career and be important. And and at the same time, you also have her assistant Malcolm. That she's always, they always they have a nice contentious relationship, and this, him and Jessica Jones, they always, and he's constantly trying to help her, and she's constantly, firing him and all that stuff. But he's a good actor. The actor who plays Malcolm, he's really good. Hey, like I said, he's an addict, and of course he's trying to fight that. And it's also at the same time, there's another character that they bring in here. I forgot the character's name, but a guy that runs his own private eye business, and he's basically trying to. He basically, I think he approaches her first to try to buy her out of her business to join him, and of course she turns him down. And of course, and he's more of a nuisance character to me. His character is just an annoyance, okay, but he does kind of serve the plot in a little ways, okay. But anyway, it's mostly about Jessica and coming to terms again with her mother, her finding out that her mother is alive, and her mother has been experimented on, and her mother is actually out there, killing people. And there's a Dr. Carl Morris, played by Callum Keith Rennie, who, like I said, he does a really good job. I almost seen him playing villains and stuff, but he does a really good job in this because the mother character is in love with him, and he's the only one that can really kind of calm her down. Okay, because her character is stronger than Jessica Jones. Her brain is messed up, and she has these fits of rage where she literally can rip people apart. And like I said, she's stronger than Jessica Jones. And they do go into a flashback, and they show you actually when Jessica Jones was still younger, and her mother tried to contact her and get back into her life when the boy that she was dating at the time was let's say he was a little shady, but Jessica Jones loved him. That was her family, because at that point nobody else was alive, and she had the contentious relationship with Trish's mother, who had adopted her. I think they adopted her, but anyway, so this guy that she was dating, that was her whole world. And when her mother kind of misinterprets a conversation between her, this guy that Jessica loves, and some homeboys that he's hanging out with, and she basically it kills him in a fit of rage. And then of course he decides to stay away from Jessica Jones for that time. But what I love about the show is Janet McTeer as Elisa Jones. She does a really good job. She's a really good actress. For some reason I thought that was Laurie Metcalf for a minute, but then I look at the credits and it's Janet McTeer, and she does a really good job as Elisa Jones, because her character is like volatile. At the same time, she's trying to hold it in and her sanity, but things can set her off. Her brain is damaged and stuff, and they literally show the
results of that. Of how she basically she twists this lady's neck around. She basically beats the crap out of this guy in a van that's surveilling to steal stuff from Jessica Jones. I mean, she literally beats the living crap out. Like I said, she's stronger than Jessica Jones, and of course, she comes to Jessica Jones and explains the backstory and stuff. And of course, there's a great, I don't know if it's episode 8 or whatever episode it is, where they have that they have the flashback where she explains to Jessica about what happened to her and everything, and how it's just an intense. And Kristen Ritter, she breaks your heart in that scene when her mother's explaining to her, and they do the flashbacks about how her mother was experimented on and stuff, and after the accident. And it's just insane. Like I said, I thought it was going to be the brother, but making it the mother, it makes sense, because you have the parallel of Trish and her mother, an overbearing mother, stage mother, and then you have Jessica Jones and her mother, who's kind of worse than a stage mother. She's psychotic with super strength. Okay, and of course she wants to be with her daughter and stuff, and how Jessica. What I love about, because Kristen Ritter, she always wants to, and the reason partially why she drinks and everything, because she wants that family and stuff. And like I said, Trish is the only one that she can turn to. Okay, because Trish's mother is a piece of work, and now her own mother is psychotic. Her real mother, she finds out, has been alive for the past 12 years, is psychotic, has super strength, and is going around killing people that she has to stop. And what I also love, that the relationship between Jessica and Trish evolves as well, because Trish, like I said, in her desperation to be famous and to help people, she goes overboard. There's another character, Will Simpson, from the first season. I think we thought he had died in the first season, but he's coming back in there, and he's coming back to try to protect Trish and everything. And she gets kind of addicted to this, I guess, to this kind of steroid, I guess, that he was taking, and she becomes addicted to it, and she starts acting out of character, and it totally changes the dynamic of their relationship. Okay, between Jessica and Trish, and they're at odds. And so again, and Malcolm gets involved in that too, because he gets in the middle of it trying to help, and it becomes complicated. And that whole relationship between Trish and Jessica becomes more complicated, and it really, and at the end of it, they're at loggerheads. But what again, Janet McTeer, I can't say enough good things about her, because her character, there's a great scene in her when she's in the house that she's been set up with by the doctor, and she's trying to play the piano, and she's playing it, and a neighbor comes over, and she's trying to keep calm, and the baby starts crying, and then she starts banging on the piano, and then her neighbor leaves, and then she basically destroys the piano. Just it's, she just does a great job with that controlled rage. And like I said, Jessica at the same time, she wants this, she wants to stop her mother, and at the same time she wants to help. She wants to help her, and so their relationship, is great. And of course, her mother wants her to be with her. Her mother wants to be, and there's twists and turns like where the mother turns herself in, and it's just crazy. And then when the doctor winds up, sacrificing himself because, like I said, Trish is out of control. She actually goes to the doctor and kidnaps him and tries to make her special too. And Jessica stops that, interrupts that, and of course the doctor, tells her to take her, and then he basically commits suicide by blowing up his work and with himself in it. And of course the mother finds out, and then that's just, that's going to drive her insane because he's our only like tether to keep her calm. And of course she goes completely nuts, and she wants, and she breaks out because she wants to kill Trish, literally, because she blames Trish for all of it. And it's an insane, the dynamic, the acting is just first rate in this show, and the emotion. That's why I say Melissa Rosenberg, who's the showrunner for this show, does a fantastic job with the acting and the writing and the casting even. And J.R. Ramirez, who used to be on Power, he plays Oscar Arocho. He's like the new landlord, and him and Jessica have a contentious relationship at first, but then they get to know each other. He has a young son, okay, and he's recently parole ex-con, and he's trying to find his way basically. And of course, him and Jessica, they kind of bond after a fast, after having a contentious relationship. They kind of bond with each other. And also, like I said, Malcolm, his character, Jessica's assistant, his character evolves too, because like I said, he's an addict, and he gets caught up with Trish and her trying to be super and all this stuff, and he gets caught up with Jerry Hogarth too, played by Carrie-Anne Moss, who has, like I said, she has her own side plot. Like I said, she's dying. She's ACLS, and she gets caught up in Jessica's world a little bit. Like I said, her partners are trying to push her out, and Carrie-Anne Moss is just actually fantastic too with her part too, with her little side plot. And every once in a while, her character bounces back into Jessica's world when she needs her and stuff. And I'm telling you, this season has actually been fantastic. I like the progression of it, and of course, David Tennant is in this as Kilgrave, but he's only as he only comes back as a manifestation of Jessica's mind. Okay, after Jessica's kind of, she's kind of forced to kill this guy Griffin Sinclair, who was Trish's fiance, I guess, for a while. And once she does that, that kind of opens up her mind back. The guilt brings Kilgrave back in her mind. Okay, and again, David Tennant is great in this in a couple of scenes that he has in it, and he's fantastic. And the banter between him and Kristen Ritter is just great. And like I said, this show, like I said, it's with Daredevil. I think this is like right there on an even level. It's just a really fantastic show. Again, Janet McTeer is Elisa Jones. Her character is just like insane, and you can tell every time her and Kristen Ritter they work great against each other when they're in a room together, and you feel those emotions between the two of them. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And like I said, when she breaks out of the hospital to try to kill Trish, of course Jessica is there to stop her, and of course she winds up killing a cop, and then she's has to be on the run. Everybody's looking for her, and she basically kidnaps Jessica, and they're basically on the road for like an episode. And what's the heartbreaking thing is eventually you see while they're on the road, and Jessica's made a decision to go away with her, okay, because she thinks she's the only one that can help her and control her now that the doctor's dead. You see they kind of bond. They even save a family that's been in an accident, okay, and you can see that there's a moment where Jessica Jones thinks her mother's died, sacrificing, trying to save somebody in an accident. And you see the emotional when Jessica Jones hugs her mother when she thinks that she had lost her again, and she hugs her, and you see that emotion in Kristen Ritter's face, you tell that she's happy, that her mother didn't die, that she's happy that she's back, screwed up as she is, she's happy, and then she's gonna go off with her. And you see, the mother has that. I think she has that moment of clarity. They go to like this amusement park in Westchester. I think that's where the family used to vacation, the family, and she, they get on the Ferris wheel. They turn on the lights, and Jessica tells them not to do that because that's going to draw attention. Of course, people are going to investigate, and they're going to find it. But her mother's made the decision. You see, her mother made the decision. They have a nice little conversation where her mother is basically telling her that that it's over, that she doesn't care anymore, that it's over, and that the best thing, that I think I'm trying to remember the exact terms she says, like the best thing that she ever did was having Jessica, that she's better than her, that she's a hero. She basically calls her a hero, and you can see that they have that moment where they're at peace. And then of course Trish, when she finds out that Jessica's in Westchester, she figures out where they are. I guess because she knows that they used to go on vacation. She goes there and she winds up killing her mother, shooting her in the head while they're on the Ferris wheel. And you could tell the look on Jessica Jones' face because she shoots her. You see the blood on Jessica Jones from her mother, and she jumps down from that height, to confront Trish, and she chases after, and she like shoves her, and she like flies a couple of feet, and you could tell that she has that moment of rage, but she's not like her mother. She's not going to kill Trish, even though she's mad as hell at her for what she did, for killing her mother at that moment when she thought, they had come to some accord. And she takes the gun and tell Trish to run. And of course the cops come and they figure that, the cops figure out that they think that Jessica killed her mother to stop her. So that's the end of the case. But then Trish shows up again after a fashion to try to talk to Jessica again. But Jessica is saying, no, our relationship is not going to be the same. He said, because all I can see when I look at you is that you're the person that killed my mom. It made me lose my mom again for the second time. So their dynamic of their relationship has been changed. And and Trish walks off. And then you see a moment that I have to say that a fellow YouTuber, Falagar, we know that Trish Walker becomes Hellcat in the comic books. But you can see there's a moment where her phone flips down almost, and she catches it with her feet. And earlier in the episode, not the episode, but 2 episodes ago, I think, when the doctor was trying to give Trish power to the same experiment on her that he did on Jessica Jones and her mother, it gets interrupted. But apparently, it took long enough that you see Trish is going to become Hellcat. She has it looks like her abilities are coming. So that's a little tease for the end of that. And of course, Malcolm, he actually moves on. He actually moves on from Jessica. He said, after a while, after he just figures, listen, this is it. And he basically joins up with the PI that was trying to buy Jessica's business. And so their relationship has been changed. And there's a moment where they pass each other in the hallway where he's all dressed up and everything. And you're kind of sad about that because you can tell they really still care about each other and stuff. But maybe in season 3 they'll come back together, which I think they probably will. Okay, and then the episode ends with Jessica Jones going to see Oscar Arocho, played by J.R. Ramirez, him and his son, and she has dinner with them, and she, and you can tell, so maybe there's a little hope for Jessica, even though she's been through this emotional ringer, finding her mother was still alive and going through everything, and then her relationship with Trish changing, but at least she has a home thing with Oscar and his son, his young son. I think that it kind of ended on that maybe hopeful note like that. So again, this show was absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to definitely give Jessica Jones season 2 8.5. I really enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a great continuation of the first season. Melissa Rosenberg, the showrunner, did a fantastic job, and I think they should let her maybe do the Defenders when they get them all together again for the Defenders 2 whenever they do that, because she does her season, this season, second season has been fantastic. I think, like I said, right next to Daredevil, Jessica Jones is about even to me in the best Netflix superhero shows. It's absolutely fantastic. And again, I can't say enough good things about Kristen Ritter, okay, and Rachel Taylor, and even Malcolm Denise, who plays Ika, okay, Rachel Taylor, Ika Darville, who plays Malcolm. Okay, did a great job. And Carrie Ann Moss, who's absolutely fantastic. Like I said, she has a little own side plot, which with her dying and all this stuff, and her side plot is interesting to say the least, and she knocks it out of the park too. Carrie Ann Moss, she's just She's just a stone cold killer, literally, as a lawyer. And anyway, what I definitely, again, Janet McTeer, Callum Keith as Alicia Jones, knocked that out of the park. I just thought I did a fantastic job. Like I said, if there's any justice, she should win an Emmy. I just thought Janet McTeer was absolutely fantastic in the show. And then again, Calvin Keith Rennie as the Dr. Carl Molus, the doctor who basically did this to Jessica and her mother. He did a great job too. I thought he was fantastic too. And I love the chemistry between Jessica, those confrontations between her and her mother. Anytime they were in a scene together, the tension was always there, and you could just, the acting was strong in this, and I definitely recommend it. Anyway, let me know what you think of Jessica Jones Season 2. What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. If you liked this review, please hit the subscribe button down below. I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my main channel, Trade Passer, in the description box. So please check that out as well. And this is Paul saying so long and take care.